My topic is General Palmer, General William Jackson Palmer, the founder of this city, and I'm assessing the extent to which he became an outstanding innovator and entrepreneur. He's a fascinating blend, a visionary, yet a very practical person, a person who was largely self-taught, a person who was always looking for the best and seeking new ways and better ways of leading an effective and efficient life. Palmer was a Quaker, he was a very religious man, and he wanted to take nature, which he much respected, and turn it into culture. One example, the large, very wide streets that we have in the downtown area of Colorado Springs. Three things he did. First of all, he made these streets so wide that a carriage, even pulled by 4 horses, could easily turn around without shuffling and backing up and so on. Very practical. Secondly, because the soil was so arid, he built a canal 11 miles long in order to water the sides of the lots and provide for gardens to come up quickly. And thirdly, because he didn't want his houses looking bare and isolated, he literally brought in thousands of cottonwood and other trees and planted them alongside and in the center of each of his main streets. So all of these 3 things were very practical. None of them could be described as an invention, but they show a person who is thinking through on the impact 10, 20, 30 years from now of the things that we do today. He had one brilliant concept. This was a time after the Civil War when several railroads were pushing, indeed racing, towards California from the east to see who would reach the city of San Francisco and the Pacific coast first. And Palmer looked at this situation and decided not to compete directly, but to link up these railroads to a north-south feeder railroad, which he envisioned would run from Denver in the north right the way down to Mexico City, well beyond the range of the eastern Rockies. And this proved to be a very profitable idea. Like many young men who had the ability and the money, he went to England and France to study. And what he studied was processes for making steel, the use of coal instead of wood for locomotives, the building of bridges, and machinery and equipment and innovation of every kind. He was particularly interested in mining, and even at that early age he was dismayed by the ways in which deep mines in Britain were very dangerous for the people working in them, for the miners, and employed young children. And Palmer resolved that when he got home, any mines that he owned would be run on different lines. In his life, he demonstrated a vision for what a good city should be and should become. And so when we look back at what he did all those years ago, we can get some clues and some hints as to how we should develop our city today. We have a marvelous heritage in this part of the country, and the more we learn about it, the more we can develop an interest and a commitment to carrying on from those who went before us, such as Palmer. I want people to be fired up, I want them to be excited, and I want them to see the possibilities that still exist in a place like Colorado Springs.